Today we're going to take a full map tour of Cumming, Georgia so you can know where everything is and learn more about this city in Metro Atlanta. Cumming, Georgia is located about 30 miles northwest of Atlanta up Georgia Highway 400. It's going to be just past Alpharetta. I say this every time I talk about Cumming, but if you're going off just the strict city limits, Cumming is incredibly small with a population of only about 8,000 people. However, if you include everyone who has a Cumming address on their mail, then Cumming takes up like 85% of Forsyth County, and it's enormous with a population closer to like 200,000. Now, because of that, most of the time I equate the city of Cumming and Forsyth County kind of interchangeably. If I'm talking about one, I'm talking about the other. Because it's so big, the various sections can be very different. So with that in mind, let's jump into the map. Okay, we're looking at a map of Cumming here, centered around, kind of the city center. And I would say the boundaries are somewhere around here, and then it'll cross over into Canton, comes up north. You get a little bit of Lake Lanier, and then those two dots down there are actually going to be a little bit Alpharetta, but they are worth mentioning. We'll get to that in just a second. We're going to talk about this in sections. This is actually a really large area to cover, and because of that, a lot of these different sections are pretty different, like I mentioned before. And so we're going to talk about each one, and we're going to break this up by high schools. And the way they've named their high schools will make that make sense. So we have Forsyth Central here, West Forsyth, South Forsyth, and North Forsyth. And we have Denmark High School over here. So we're going to talk about them in these respective sections. First, we're going to start up north. This is the North Forsyth High School School District. And up here, it's pretty wide open. There's a little bit of a north-south thing going on, where in the south it's much more developed. It's kind of an extension of what Alpharetta is, and then as you get further north, it really opens up over here. So we'll take a look at this North Forsyth High School School District, and it starts with right here, North Forsyth High School, right off of 369, or Matt Highway, as you can call it. This is kind of a big road that goes east and west. A lot of times you'll be traveling along I-20, but then if you're going to this northern section, most of the time you're going to get on this 369 up here, and that's going to take you right to North Forsyth High School. We will put the stats for this school on the screen. It's a little bit lower ranked as far as the Forsyth schools go, but still pretty respectable in its own right. If you live up here, there's not a ton of activity. There is a lot of, some new construction homes going up there. And as I think more and more residents move up there, more businesses will end up coming there. So I think you're about, anywhere from 5 to 10 years away from that looking a little bit more developed. But for right now, there's just not a ton to do up there. There's a couple things that I will point out though. And the first one is going to be, this is Central Park. This is one of the many parks in Forsyth County, and it's a really nice park. It's got some, playgrounds, sports fields. It's got some walking paths, things like that. So that's a nice place to visit if you're looking for something to do on the weekend. The the Forsyth Aquatic Center is also fairly close over there. It's not the biggest, but there is an indoor and an outdoor section, so that's another something to do. And then we'll take a look at one of the neighborhoods up here. This is Hopewell Manor. And let's jump over to actually the MLS, and we'll take a look at what some of these homes look like. Okay, so we have currently 4 homes available in this particular neighborhood. Let's take a look at one in the lower range, and this is 555. Built in 2007, over 3,000 square feet, almost 3,500 square feet. That's a pretty good price for that amount of house, and that's kind of true for the north and south thing. You're gonna get a little bit more house for your money, and a little bit newer house for your money on the north side up here. 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. That's a lot of space. Been on the market for 41 days. Let's take a look inside. Okay, we got brick front here. Nice flat driveway. Floors look good. Yeah, kitchen looks nice. Nice and clean. Opens up to a dropped living room, stone fireplace, dining room, tray ceilings on, is that the primary? No, I think this is the primary. It's hard when they're empty sometimes. Nice big closet. Carpet upstairs, there's that room again. Oh, this is cool. Wow, that's very cool. And it's super, I mean, this is a flat lot, goodness. Yeah, nice place. And then we'll take a look at one of the higher end ones. This is 750, 5,300 square feet, 6'5", so, you know, about the same number of bedrooms as the other one. A lot more space though, and looks like we have a finished basement on this. 2016, so this is a lot newer. Been on the market for 7 days. Let's take a look. I like the front, Craftsman. 3-car garage, front porch. Floors look nice. Brown cabinets. This is virtually staged. It even tells me that. Open floor plan. Okay, you got a little loft here. Oh, nice. No carpet in the primary. Got a little sitting area with a fireplace. Big closet. Oh, I see what they did. That's virtual. It's actually carpet. Nice. Finished basement. A little bit of unfinished space. Ooh, nice. Screened in with the fireplace and the TV. Love it. Show me the backyard. Oh, they didn't show me the backyard. I wonder if it's got a drop off or something. All right, let's zoom out. Let's move down a little bit over to the Forsyth Central area. So obviously this is gonna be the center area of Cumming. And this is like where the Cumming city limits actually are. Forsyth Central, probably, I would say mid-tier as far as Forsyth County schools are concerned. Not too bad, not the best as far as ratings are concerned. Always do your own research. Check out niche.com, greatschools.org. We'll put some of those stats right up on the screen for Forsyth Central. Forsyth Central is cool. It's actually right across the way from Cumming City Center, which this is like really the gathering space as far as Cumming is concerned. This is built from scratch. We'll take a look at the downtown in just a second, but whereas, you know, some of these other cities developed their downtown as the gathering space, you know, Cumming really didn't have the infrastructure for that, so they just went ahead and built their own new and shiny gathering center. Lots of really cool restaurants here. There's a really cool stage, green space, some outdoor space. There's a putt-putt golf area. This is a really fun spot. And it's funny because if you look at the stadium for Forsyth Central, I mean, if you're kicking field goals and you kick it a little high, it's going right into Cumming City Center. It's right there. I have to believe that some of these students over here are taking a little trip over into Cumming City Center every once in a while just to hang out. I'm not saying they're skipping school. I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying, you know, I might think about it. Okay, and then right down the road is the actual downtown for Cumming. And let me tell you, like, this downtown area is terrible. It's like, look, it's the probate court, it's the city hall, it's municipal buildings, it's the jail. This isn't where you go. If you're looking for things to do in Cumming, you don't go to downtown. You go to city center. I mean, even these restaurants over here, they're just like dives. It's nothing to speak of. No offense if you're the owner of any of these places, but you know, I'm just not going there to eat. This isn't the area that I'm going to. What is more fun though is right down the road is the fairgrounds. This is really fun. They do a fair here every year, monster trucks, and I think you can see the gondola buckets. Yeah, right here, and hopefully, I think I have some footage of that. We can throw it on the screen. Let me come over here. Nope, stop, don't do that. There we go. Yeah, right here, these gondola buckets, you know, really fun. And they have all sorts of stuff. So if you're looking for something a little bit different to do and you're in the area, the fairgrounds is always a really cool spot to check out over there. All right, let's zoom out again and we'll move over to the west side over here. This is gonna be West Forsyth High School. And this gets a little bit better ratings than North or Forsyth Central, if I remember correctly. And I would say like over here, like this is kind of almost Canton. I think the dividing line between Canton and Cumming is right around this area. Actually, we got, this is Milton actually. So we got Milton coming up here. But you know, right over here is Canton and right over here is Cumming. So we're kind of crossing, almost crossing the line over there. And, you know, honestly, this is kind of like no man's land over here. You know, a little bit like North is. There's nothing up here for sure, at least not a lot up here. This, at least you're a little bit closer to everything, but not as close as, you know, some of these other areas over here. And I talk about this when I talk about the Canton area, you know, this area over here as you travel into Cumming. There's just not a ton over here. You're gonna take 20 and kind of get to some of this other stuff that's around, like Canton Marketplace over here or Cumming City Center over here. But I'll tell you, like West Forsyth, it's a respectable school. It gets pretty decent ratings. And this area over here, you know, you can just get a lot more bang for your buck as far as a house is concerned. You know, a lot of people will spend more money to get in the South Forsyth School District, for example. So if a home is like 1.3 million over here, you can probably get it for like 950 over here. If a home is like 600,000 over here, you can probably get it for like 500,000 over here. So some really great deals to be had. So if you're the type of person where like, okay, I don't need to have a top 5 school in the state. I'm fine having a top 20 or top 25 school in the state. And you just want, you know, maybe a nicer house in a nicer neighborhood, West Forsyth area, this could be a really good option for you. And I would say you do have access to some roads like Bethelview. This is a really main road in Cumming, so you just hop on over here, or you gotta hop north up to 20, go east and west. You do have like a Publix, you do have Kroger, you do have shopping centers down here. It's just gonna be a little bit further away as opposed to if you actually lived down here in this area. Let's take a look at one of the neighborhoods that's zoned for West Forsyth. This is Polo Field and Country Club. Okay, Polo Golf and Country Club, we got 9 homes available in here. You know, they're not all in the higher end. You do have some ones that are, you know, can I say affordable for a $650,000 home? No, it just, you know, not everything is over $1 million. So let's take a look at something in the 650 range. Built in 1997, this is a little bit older, under 3,000 square feet. This is a 5.3 acres, stucco front, carpet in the living room. Nice, that looked pretty. Super flat backyard. I mean, here's the thing, it gets kind of hilly around here as you get up closer to the Blue Ridge Mountain System. So when you do get these flat backyards, you got to jump on that, folks, if that's, you know, something on your list, which is a thing that's on a lot of people's list. We just you don't see it a ton, and when you do, you got to hold on to it because it's valuable. Okay, this looks nice. You know, quintessential 97, I would say, but fairly spacious. Nice deck, under deck, upper deck, great backyard. Love it. All right, let's look at something on the higher end. 2.1 million, over 7,000 square feet, 5.5, 94.6 acres. Only been on the market for 13 days. Painted brick, always pretty. Nice, good front door. Wow, those are super wide stairs. Floor looks beautiful. I like the details over here, the molding over there. Vaulted ceiling in the office. Cabinets up to the ceiling. Wallpaper's kind of making a comeback. That's cool. Yeah, wow, I like that. That's very pretty. I like those lights. Okay, butler's pantry. I like the matte finish on the cabinets. Nice, 2-story living room, big high windows, built-ins. This kind of matches over here. That's very cool. Yeah, they redid the kitchen. Oof, that looks pretty. That looks very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seater bar. Got the vent. I mean, white shaker's always gonna be in. I just love white shaker cabinets. Huge bay, lights, lots of windows, vaulted ceiling, very pretty. Again, wallpaper's in. I don't know if that seat's in, but everything else I think is very nice. I like the exposed beams. Yeah, this is pretty. Woohoo, pantry, very pretty. Half bath, real big primary, hardwood. Barn door, comment below. Are you still into barn doors? Is that a thing? Nice, an island, interesting. Nice shower. Okay, Murphy bed looks like. Little craft room. Like the details. Even these extra bedrooms have vaulted ceilings. Holy cow. Holy cow. Big closets. Okay, I'm kind of getting overwhelmed by this wallpaper. Finished basement. Media room. Nice. Workout room, sauna. Game room. Yeah, I mean, this is gorgeous. Pool, putt-putt. What more could you want, folks? Reach out to me. Let's buy this home. I really like it. I think it's beautiful. All right, let's go a little bit south. This is gonna be Denmark High School. This is pretty densely populated down here, which is why they eventually had to build another high school. South Forsyth just couldn't keep up with all the demand, so they built Denmark High School. This technically has an Alpharetta address, but it's just over the line, and you know, most of the people who are zoned for here are gonna have Cumming on their address labels. And Denmark High School, I think it was built in 2018, but it's already a top 20 school in the state. So really great school right alongside South Forsyth over here. And then right down the road is going to be Fowler Park. This is the big park in Forsyth County and Cumming. I mean, if you kind of zoom in here, you can see like all the different tennis courts and the pickleball courts and the soccer fields and the baseball. Over here's like a skate rink and basketball. And it also, you know, obviously it's got the playgrounds and the green spaces, and it's absolutely enormous. It also connects right over here to, yeah, the Big Creek Greenway, which is this guy right here, going north and south. And this thing just goes on forever. We're gonna follow this for just a second. I've got some footage of this, of what the Big Creek Greenway is, but it will travel a good distance up Forsyth County. It'll connect to some parks along the way, but if you are looking for just a way to get up and around Forsyth County, like on your bike or for a run, the Big Creek Greenway, that's gonna go on for a long time. That's a really great option for you. And real quick, if you do live in the Denmark School District, then you wanna know about these two places right here. Now, these are the two places that I mentioned. These actually have an Alpharetta address, just like Denmark High School does. But if you live in this South Cumming area, these are two places that you'll probably frequent. One is Halcyon. This is like a live, work, play community. If you've ever heard me talk about the Avalon over in Alpharetta, then this is kind of like its little brother, kind of a smaller version of that same thing. The other one is The Gathering. And this doesn't exist yet, but this is what they're developing over in Forsyth County. It's gonna be this huge sports arena with kind of infrastructure all around it, with shops and living space and retail and restaurants, kind of like what the Battery is over at Truist Park for the Braves. But their intent here is they want to bring an NHL team back to the Atlanta area, and they want it to be right here in Forsyth County. So not in the, you know, downtown Atlanta actually, but actually in the suburbs, a lot like, again, what the Braves did over in Cobb County. So this is going to be a really cool area. So if you do end up living in this Denmark area, once this thing is built, everyone's gonna wanna be around this. So get in while you can, because those prices are gonna go up for sure once they build that gathering. And if we do, God willing, get that NHL team, very exciting. All right, lastly, we're gonna head over to the South Forsyth School District. South Forsyth, I don't think it's the #1 school in the state. It might be, but it's definitely in that top 5 conversation. Again, we'll put the stats up here on the screen as far as South Forsyth is concerned. But this is where most of the development and where most everything is in Cumming. So if you want to be like in the heart of where everything is, with the Targets, with the shops, with the restaurants, it's gonna be this area right here. And you can see right down the road is the collection at Forsyth. This is, what do I call this? It's this outdoor shopping center area. It's got, you know, again, lots of restaurants, your, you know, Barnes and Noble, some other like, you know, more commercial shops. I don't buy clothes, so you know, don't ask me about these things. I don't really shop. You know, if I need something, I'll just order it on Amazon. What can I say? But this is actually you know, a really fun spot to go to. I like going here a lot. The AMC Theater is right here. If I'm looking for something to do with friends, this is on the list as far as like, oh, where else can we go? We can go to the collection at Forsyth. And then let's take a look at one of the neighborhoods around here. This is gonna be Three Chimneys. All right, Three Chimneys is a big neighborhood. There's only one actually active right now, but I did pull some closed just so we can get you know, some more ideas of what the homes are like in here. Real big neighborhood, big amenities. And again, this is, you know, a really desirable area. So immediately I'm looking at this, and you're probably looking at this like, I'm gonna pay over $800,000 for something like this. You know, in that area, homes are just a little bit more expensive. Like I said, if you want a little bit more bang for your buck, maybe head over to the West Forsyth school system. But you know, over here, they're just gonna be a little bit pricier because everyone wants to be in those school districts. Let's see what you can get for a little over $1 million here. Okay, this looks a little bit cleaner for sure. Lawn looks great, house looks clean, painted brick, yeah, okay. We all feel better about this, right? Nice big kitchen, white shaker cabinets, gotta love it. Coffered ceilings, I love coffered ceilings. Hardwoods look great, little sitting center, screened in back porch, show me the backyard. We'll get there in a second, I guess. Hardwoods in the primary, oh wow. Cool. Yep. Looks good, looks good. Finished basement. Yeah, this makes a little bit more sense, right? Is that a wine cellar? Very cool. Yeah, backyard looks good too. Yeah, I mean, I'd pay 1.03 for this. I think that looks great. Yeah, only spent 3 days on the market, absolutely. Asked $975, got 1.03. I buy it. All right, that's our tour of Cumming. You know, like I said, lots of different areas. We have the south side, we have the west side, we can have something more central, and then we have the north side. It's a lot of area to cover. So if you are thinking about this city, you really have to know which part of the city that you want to be in. Now, if you're interested but you want to explore other options, then check out this playlist right over here, and you can learn about some of the other cities around here. I'll see you in the next one.